Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Dan Hendriksen here. We are down at the beautiful St Mellion estate here today, just putting together a few videos for you, and we've got a real golf video for you today, which is in relation to my shot that I had on part 2 of our trip to Minchin Hampton Golf Club. Now I had a pitch shot. I played a fantastic drive up the middle of the fairway, and I had a pitch shot of about 55 yards, and I tried to use a technique that would allow me to hit it to that target. However, as you will see in the video that I'm just about to play after this intro, you'll see that I didn't actually make that yardage. So I thought I'd have a little chat with Paul today, get his ideas on what I was trying to do there and how he might be able to help me. This also might be able to help you with your game as well, and certainly help you with your pitching. So if you are new to the channel and you like what you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But let's go and catch up with Paul and find out what I was doing, well, doing wrong.
Right, what have you got?
55 yards, Benny.
Little hand and armsy one, isn't it?
It's one of these little...
Pretty little curry arms on it.
There. Okay. 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Well, I landed that about 40. Checked up into the fringe.
That was more like 8 o'clock.
And left myself about 25 foot.
More like 8 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And 9 and 3.
8 o'clock to
You got the time wrong, I reckon.
Yeah. 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Yeah,
time was wrong.
Time wrong. Yeah, sorry. I didn't realise the clocks had gone back.
You were a couple of hours out there. Interesting shot I played there, wasn't it?
Curry arms.
Curry arms, unfortunately. Yeah, didn't work out. Like, I didn't go back. I went back to my old way of doing things, and because I haven't done it for a little while, I didn't pull it off. No. So give me a little bit of information. Tell us a little bit about what I was trying to do there and what I could do better.
So you were trying to swing it to 9 o'clock, is that what you're trying to do?
9 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Is this something you've practiced much? Or?
Well, if you remember when we were younger, I used to practice this quite a lot, but I haven't done that in some years now. So
You're definitely a lot older now.
Yeah, I'm definitely a lot older, yeah. But it's something that I haven't practiced for some time.
Okay. It's something I try to practice regularly. I've got the luxury of being able to do it on TrackMan a little bit.
Yeah.
So
getting precise numbers.
Yeah, it's quite important you keep the numbers going. So I kind of look for the speed of my ball speed, and if that starts fluctuating, then I know that I'm not maybe hitting the positions that I'm hitting.
Okay.
So that's why I kind of focus on getting the swing speed or the ball speed, get that right, and then the numbers tend to, the yardage numbers tend to follow suit from there. And
that's a really interesting when you say about that with ball speed, because I know when I played that shot, I didn't really strike it that well. Yeah. Like, it was a little bit in the toe. So I imagine that if you were reading that on TrackMan or Quad or whatever, you'd have seen my ball speed drop right down, which is why I've not basically hit target or hit the yardage that I wanted to get. So what could I do to improve what I've just done there, Paul?
Well, I've got 3 baseline positions that I go with. I don't tend to focus on the follow through, it's more the backswing for me. Yeah. So I've got a 9 o'clock, a half 9 and a 10 o'clock. Okay. And they all give me different distances. And then if I ever want to go and change up those distances, I can add loft and do different things, hit them easier, hit them softer, hit them harder. I can change them up to find those in between distances, but I always start off with 3 baseline positions which I practice, and then I can then fiddle with those after.
So we're talking about a clock face system, aren't we?
Yeah.
Because you're talking about 9 o'clock.
Yes.
So just take us back to sort of 9 o'clock and just show us what that kind of looked like or feels like to you.
9 o'clock is trying to get this arm basically parallel with the ground in that position.
So you're not thinking about the shaft at all. You're thinking more about your arm position.
The arm position, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that's my first position. Then I've got a 9:30.
Yeah.
And then I've got a 10 o'clock. And anything below that, so any shorter shots, is more of a feel thing for me. So I don't tend to have a 1/2-8 or anything. It's more of a feel, because it's such a short distance that I think that's more of a feel thing you need.
And then what about, how do you manage that then from a speed point of view? You know, have you got just a basic speed that you kind of go with? Because obviously you can go to 9 o'clock, but if you rip it through at 9 o'clock, you're going to hit a different yardage again, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'll just have a standard, what feels like a standard swing to me. And then if I want to change it and hit it, you know, sometimes if I've got an in-between number, an in-between yardage, I might think 9 o'clock and hit it hard, a hard 9 o'clock.
Okay.
That's how I get through that.
Right, okay. So just show us then, where are we now? How far out are we from this position?
This is 50 yards.
Okay.
So this is my 9:30 position.
Yeah.
And this is the one I practice the most, because this is my in-between position. And if I can get this right, then generally for the 9 o'clock, I just feel it needs to be a little bit shorter, and then for the 10 o'clock it just needs to be a little bit further. So I try and get this position nailed down first, and from there I then can reach the other positions easier. And
then if you're laying up on a par 5, or you're in trouble off a par 4 and you're needing to lay up to a position, are you then focusing on this yardage? Is that what you try and do? No. Or are you not worried too much about that?
I think if you're good enough to be able to hit the number you want to hit from way back there to leave yourself the right pitching zone, then you know you're worrying about the wrong thing.
Okay, so you're trying to get as close as you can then.
It's so difficult from back there to leave yourself the exact number down here that you want. I just think you need to be able to. You need to be versatile with your numbers, and you need to practice different numbers and find a way of getting good at all the numbers and not just have a set number.
Okay.
It's, you know, I think trying to leave yourself that number is so difficult from way back there that it's not worth trying to achieve it.
Right, so then just show us then what you're going to do then for a little pitch shot. We're on the practice, well, it's one of the old holes here at St Mellion, and they let us use it, which is fantastic of them.
Yeah.
So what have we got then, Paul?
So this is 50 yards from here. It's quite a tough shot through this gap,
Through the gap, yeah.
But it's something that should really be about my 9:30 distance, carry distance. So all I do is I'm swinging it through to 9 o'clock here with the left arm, and then just through to what feels natural on the way through.
So but this is 9:30, so you're trying to get it to just a little bit beyond, bit beyond that 9 o'clock position.
Yeah.
Good, very good. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Got it right on the number there.
Yep.
Okay, one more from the side angle here then. Let's have a little look at what that kind of looked like from here. And I think the interesting thing is that even though Paul you might pick out that Paul's, you know, maybe getting it closer to 10 or closer to 9, it's more of a feel thing when you've practiced it so much. Again, absolutely spot on with the yardage. So I hit mine slightly.
Yeah.
So what could I do to probably improve on my strike performance from what I did then?
Well, it depends how you've mishit it, doesn't it? I mean, was it high on the face, low on the face?
Well, it was a little bit in the toe.
In the toe.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think you're short of practice, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think that's probably what I would say, is get down the practice area and actually start practicing it more, because it's obviously an area of the game that does get neglected quite a bit, I think. So I think, you need to put the time in, certainly, with getting the right positions. And I used to do a lot of filming, sort of face on with that angle you just did then. And then all I'm doing is then just making sure what I feel is 9 or 9:30 is actually that on the screen, because what you feel is not always where it is. So it's always good to confirm it with a camera, and then you can, once you learn the feel of where it looks like, then that is your 9:30 or 9 o'clock feel. That's always a good way. And
people might comment on this video and say, well, I tend to use more feel, as in like I want a different speed. Is that a good thing to have? Is it dangerous? Is it you know, does it come down to each individual?
Yeah, everyone's different. I think I remember Tiger he positions his pitching on where he finishes on the way through, and he doesn't think so much about the backswing. It's more of his finishing positions, as in the clock face the other way around. So I think everybody's different. It's something that's worked for me, and I think it's kind of the normal way for people to work out their pitching distances. But I think if you look at, when you look at golf clubs, so your 8 iron will go a certain distance, your 9 iron will go a certain distance. But for me, my shortest club goes full swing, goes 100 yards.
Yeah.
And I'm going to need, between pitching and that full 100 yards, there's a big gap there which I don't have different clubs for, because you know my club's further up the bag. There's a 14-yard gap all the way through pretty much.
Yeah.
When I get down below the 100 yards, I've not got 14-yard gaps with different clubs, so I've got to make those up. So by giving myself positions, I'm almost like giving myself a club in the bag, and then I can then tweak those positions or the speeds of those positions to give me even more increments in the yardages. Okay,
let's go and play the forward one, and then let's play the back one as well.
Okay.
All right. Now I would say these are probably the most delicate and difficult ones, the shorter ones where people try and, I don't know, try and help them or try and put a bit more spin on it and things like that. Again, focusing on those key points that you've talked about is just crucial, isn't it, for shots like this?
Yeah, I think beyond this, it starts then becoming a feel game for me. But I think I can still reach a point here with this at 9 o'clock that will give me a reliable shot going forward.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to feel with this one that I'm just short of my standard 930 position.
930 position,
feel, yeah, just short.
Still the same tempo, same speed on the way through. What's interesting is I'm noticing as you play these shots how the ball shoots off at different like lofts, almost like different angles. It comes off the face, so the further back we've gone, the higher it's going.
Absolutely.
Whereas these ones here, and that's just because of the lack of speed, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and also that's going to translate into a lack of spin.
Yeah.
So these shorter ones will have more roll when they get on the green than the
ones
back.
Whereas the one, let's say the furthest one back there, just stops pretty quickly, doesn't it?
It will stop quicker, yeah. So, you know, sometimes from this distance, if you need more spin, you may have to manipulate the face and add a bit of loft and then add a bit more speed to it in order to get it to stop the same as.
So if they want to add a little bit more loft on the club, they need to make sure that they get a bit more speed into the shot, don't they?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
that extra loft is going to sort of take a little bit more ball speed off the shot. Very nice. Made our way back to then the 65-yarder.
Yeah, so this is my 10 o'clock swing. Okay. So all I'll be feeling with this is that it's just obviously a little bit longer than the 930.
And always focusing on the left arm as your lead, kind of your lead arm in this position.
Yeah, that's my, you know, my reference point is that where that arm goes to.
Okay.
And it's just feeling. Obviously, I'm not looking at where it's going to. I'm just feeling it.
And are you trying to keep this left arm like properly super straight? Is that what you're trying to do, or are you allowing just that little bit of a kink in the left arm position?
My arm stays straight through my swing anyway, so I'm not feeling.
You're not trying to focus on keeping a straight arm and stuff like that, because I think that can create a little bit of tension for players if they're not used to doing that.
Just do what your arm normally does. If your arm bends, then let it bend.
Let it bend and go for that. But okay, so 10 o'clock position then.
So 10 o'clock, and obviously it'll be mirrored up on the way through, so it probably will go slightly further on the way through in theory.
Yeah, bang on.
Right distance.
Yeah, spot on for distance.
Yeah.
Okay, get you on this front angle then. Again, just give everyone a bit of an idea on what it looks like. Ball position always stays the same, Paul?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good again.
Yeah, take those.
Always great to get the ideas of obviously very good golfers. For me, I need to go away and work on it myself, but there's just a technique with your pitching that might be able to help you get your distance control right. It's not going to be a technique that works for everybody. There are lots of different types of techniques out there, but it's a technique that Paul works on himself, and it's certainly something that I've worked on in the past. And as you can see, mine needs a little bit of work on. But let me know, put your comments down below. Is it something that you work on yourself? Do you have another technique? I would like to hear what you do. Don't forget, if you are new to the channel and you like what you're seeing from this Real Golf series, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, make sure you comment, because YouTube loves all of that, and we'll see you all again very soon.